Good morning and welcome to Barbaras Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and in-depth analysis from around the world. I'm your host Barbara, and I'm glad you're joining us today. We have a lot of interesting stories to cover, but let's start with some developments from Japan. According to reports from the Japan Times, Nippon Ishin no Kai, a major opposition party, is proposing that the government set a cap on the percentage of foreign residents in the country. The party believes that this measure is crucial to avoid a clash and a chasm with the local community. Now, I want to emphasize that this proposal has sparked a lot of debate, and opinions on the matter are divided. On one hand, some argue that setting a cap on foreign residents could help maintain social cohesion and prevent cultural clashes. On the other hand, others believe that such a policy could be seen as discriminatory and might harm Japan's reputation as a welcoming country. It's also worth noting that this proposal comes at a time when Japan is facing a rapidly aging population and a shrinking workforce. Some experts argue that the country needs to attract more foreign talent to boost its economy and address these demographic challenges. In related news, veteran lawmaker Sanae Takaichi has announced her candidacy for the presidency of the ruling Liberal Democratic Party. Takaichi is seeking to soften her image and appeal to broader swaths of the public, but she's also facing criticism for her conservative views on certain issues, including defense spending and visits to the Yasukuni Shrine. Meanwhile, the Bank of Japan has made a surprise move by announcing that it will start unloading its exchange-traded funds. This decision has rattled the market, and we'll be keeping a close eye on how it develops. And finally, in some interesting news from the world of food, Japan's rice demand is expected to reach 7.1 million tons over the next year. This comes as the country's agricultural sector faces challenges due to climate change and other factors. We'll continue to follow these stories and bring you updates as more information becomes available. For now, let's take a break. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbaras Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbaras Bulletin. As we continue to navigate the complex landscape of global news, I'd like to shift our focus to a pressing issue that has been unfolding in the Middle East. The recent actions of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have sparked intense debate and raised questions about the implications for Israel's international status and moral authority. According to reports from The Hill, Netanyahu's decision to order an airstrike on a group of Hamas leaders meeting in Doha has left many wondering about the motivations behind this move. These leaders were allegedly negotiating with representatives of Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency, to bring a halt to the conflict in Gaza. The fact that the Mossad had refused to mount a ground operation to capture or kill these individuals suggests that there may have been an opportunity for a diplomatic solution. However, as we've seen time and again, the path to peace is often fraught with obstacles and challenges. An editorial from the Japan Times sheds light on the potential consequences of Netanyahu's actions, suggesting that his government's impunity threatens not only the Palestinian cause, but also Israel's own reputation and credibility on the world stage. As I reflect on these developments, I'm reminded of the wise words of a seasoned diplomat who once told me that the pursuit of security can sometimes lead to a false sense of stability. In other words, while military victories may provide temporary gains, they often come at the cost of long-term diplomatic losses. This is a lesson that leaders around the world would do well to heed. As we consider the complexities of this situation, it's essential to approach the topic with empathy and understanding for all parties involved. The human toll of conflict cannot be overstated, and it's crucial that we prioritize the protection of civilians and the promotion of peaceful dialogue. In the midst of these challenging times, I'm heartened by the resilience and determination of individuals who continue to work towards a more just and peaceful world. From the robot tour guides in Tokyo offering new opportunities for people with disabilities to the tireless efforts of humanitarian workers on the ground in Gaza, there are countless stories of hope and compassion that remind us of our shared humanity. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Barbaras Bulletin. We'll be exploring a unique initiative that's bringing people together across cultural divides and fostering greater understanding and cooperation. It's a powerful reminder that even in the face of adversity, there is always the potential for growth, learning, and connection. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we close out today's show, I'd like to bring your attention to a developing story that's making waves in the world of international security and space exploration. According to recent reports from the Straits Times, France's top military space official, Major General Vincent Chousseau, has warned of increased hostile or unfriendly activity in space, particularly from Russia. Now, I want to provide some context here. This warning comes on the heels of a significant spike in hostile activity since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Major General Chousseau, who recently took the helm of French Space Command, notes that adversaries like Russia have diversified their methods of disrupting satellites, using tactics such as jamming, lasers, and cyber attacks. It's worth noting that France is Europe's largest government spender on space, and they've had previous run-ins with Russia in this domain. Back in 2018, France accused Moscow of attempting to spy on its secret communications by sneaking up on a Franco-Italian military satellite with a prowling spacecraft. But here's the thing, this isn't just a France-Russia issue. The United States, Canada, and Britain are all sounding the alarm about increased threats to satellites, which are essential for both military and economic operations. We're talking about everything from banking to energy management being potentially disrupted. The numbers are stark. According to Canada's military space chief, Brigadier General Christopher Horner, there are now over 200 anti-satellite weapons in orbit. That's a shocking number, and it poses a risk to satellite communications, Earth observation, and even our ability to monitor what's happening in space. So, how are Western countries responding? Well, they're bolstering their own space-based capabilities, with Germany announcing plans to enhance its space defenses, including the development of a multi-orbit satellite constellation. France is also prioritizing the resilience of its space assets, particularly in the rapidly evolving area of low-orbit constellations. Now, I want to emphasize that this is a complex and multifaceted issue, and we need to approach it with nuance and balance. It's not about assigning blame or taking sides, it's about understanding the risks and challenges associated with space security and working together to address them. That's all for today's Barbaras Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged. That's all for today's Barbaras Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.